You are 14 years old, and the entire empire is celebrating. Musicians are tuning their instruments in the courtyard below your window. Servants rush through corridors carrying trays of jewels, bolts of silk, and perfumes imported from lands you have never seen. Outside, cannons will fire in your honor. Poets will compose verses about your beauty. Diplomats will praise your father's generosity, and yet your hands will not stop trembling, because you understand something that no one will say out loud. Tonight is not about love. It is not even about marriage. It is about power, and you are part of the transaction. History remembers Ottoman princesses as women wrapped in silk and pearls, living behind gilded lattice windows inside the vast walls of Topkapi Palace. To the outside world, they symbolized unimaginable privilege. They were daughters of the most powerful men in the Islamic world. Their weddings were spectacles that rivaled coronations. Their dowries could fund armies, but beneath the silk was strategy. Beneath the ceremony was calculation. For centuries, Ottoman sultans faced a constant, unrelenting fear, rebellion, not just from rival empires, but from within. Governors controlled distant provinces. Generals commanded loyal troops. Ambition traveled faster than caravans. The greatest threat to a throne has always been proximity. And so the Ottoman system developed something extraordinary: cold, discipline, and terrifyingly effective. It turned daughters into instruments of stability. It transformed marriage into surveillance. It wrapped exile in gold and called it honor. To understand why so many Ottoman princesses feared their wedding nights, we must step inside the system that shaped them. Not the romanticized empire of fountains and domes, but the psychological machinery that preserved power for more than 300 years. Because what frightened them was not a husband. It was what they represented. Before a princess ever left the palace, she learned the rules without anyone speaking them plainly. Topkapi Palace was not merely a residence. It was a world unto itself: layered courtyards, guarded gates, silent corridors. The imperial harem, often misunderstood in modern imagination, functioned as both sanctuary and containment. It was a place of education, refinement, and discipline. From childhood, princesses were taught languages, poetry, theology, and court etiquette. They memorized verses of Persian literature. They learned the art of conversation, the subtleties of diplomacy, the discipline of posture and silence. They were not ignorant girls hidden away. Many were intelligent, observant, politically aware, but their education had boundaries. They were taught enough to understand power, yet never enough to wield it independently. Every movement inside the palace was observed. Eunuchs acted as guardians, messengers, and intermediaries. Servants carried not only trays of food, but also information. The palace was a living archive of whispers. A princess grew up knowing she was cherished and watched. She learned that her laughter could be reported, her curiosity could be misinterpreted, her friendships could be evaluated. She also learned something more subtle. Her value was not personal, it was dynastic. She mattered because of her blood, and blood, in an empire built on succession struggles, was dangerous. Marriage is exile. Unlike European royal daughters who often married foreign kings to secure alliances abroad, Ottoman princesses were typically married to high-ranking officials within the empire: governors, admirals, grand viziers. This was deliberate. The Ottoman dynasty avoided giving royal blood to rival foreign houses. A princess married inside the system, not outside it. But this did not make her safer. It made her more useful. When a princess married, she left Constantinople. That departure was not symbolic, it was geographic and permanent. Her new home would often be in a distant province, sometimes prosperous, sometimes unstable. Always far from the center of power, the journey itself could take weeks. With every mile, the domes of the capital faded into memory for a girl raised within palace walls. This was not adventure, it was dislocation. She was leaving the only world she had ever known. Her husband, often much older, was already a man established in authority. He commanded soldiers. He administered taxes. He corresponded with the imperial court. He had ambition because no one reached high office without it. The marriage elevated him. Symbolically, to be the Sultan's son-in-law was an honor beyond measure, but it was also a leash, and everyone knew it. The unwritten expectation. There is little in official Ottoman chronicles that openly states princesses acted as spies. Empires rarely document their own psychological mechanisms so plainly.